Right. Just 6 days to go. Less than a week to go, right? So on Wednesday evening, it was the UEFA Europa League final. And then on Wednesday, the 29th of May, we'll be having the UEFA Europa Conference League final. And then basically 4 days later is the big one, the UEFA Champions League final. Let's focus on the UEFA Europa Conference League final between Olympiacos as well as Fiorentina. It will be taking place in Athens, the capital city of Greece, on Wednesday the 29th of May 2024. And kickoff will be scheduled at 9 o'clock, Greek time, London time, South African time. So let me just break it down to you guys like this. Remember Fiorentina are last season's runners-up, and they will be taking on Olympiacos, a side that is in their first final. And this is a side, I'm talking about Olympiacos, this is a side that is in their first final, and they are also bidden to make history, as Greece's first ever senior European champions at the home of their domestic rivals, AEK Athens. That'll be astonishing, man. That'll be astonishing, to say the least, like winning a major European title on the ground of your local rivals, your domestic rivals. That'll be devastating, man. And then Viola have been tipped from the start, and they go into their 6th UEFA final on a club record 13-game unbeaten run in Europe. Vincenzo Italiano's Chargers, who have actually claimed late wins in each of their knockout ties, are determined to actually make up for last season's disappointment when they lost to the eventual winners, West Ham United, by 2-1. Olympiacos, on the other hand, they began the season in the UEFA Europa League, transferring across for the knockouts, So we saw Thrylos, they may have actually had a difficult domestic campaign, but they have been spearheaded by, the competition's top goal scorer, the Moroccan Ayoub El Kaabi, and third permanent coach of the season, José Luis, Mendilibar, So José Luis Mendilibar. And they're basically just one game away from immortality, I meant to say. So that's just actually what we have to expect. And coming into this particular final, Olympiacos have only lost one game in their past 6 matches. And their most recent result was against Panathinaikos, where they actually drew, 2-2 away from home, in the Greek Super League. Whereas Fiorentina have also just only lost one game in their past 6 encounters. And their most recent result was against Napoli, that 2-2 draw against, last season's, Scudetto winners. Now, their title has actually been taken away from them by this season's winners, Inter Milan. So, again, the Viola fell down, at the final hurdle 12 months ago. And they have only one thing in mind in Athens, avoiding any repeat of that particular, event that took place last year. So Italiano's men will actually have to be on top of their game to actually overcome an Olympiacos side who seem to actually thrive as underdogs. They dispatched the likes of Fenerbahce as well as Aston Villa. So they come with offensive play, speed, and technical skills are all Fiorentina's hallmarks. Okay, so they will actually need all of those and more if they are to actually conquer at the AEK arena. Whereas on the side of Olympiacos, none of us actually fancied them to come this far. Never mind reaching a final. None of us actually expected them to come this far. And actually saying, I sincerely think, they can actually pull off the inevitable. I mean, the fact that you're just playing in your home country, you're playing in your country, you understand, the final will be in your country, is one thing that is also a massive booster. And the fact that it will be played on the ground of your local rivals, it should give you, some source of confidence going into this particular encounter. And Olympiacos are strong and they are an aggressive team, So if they beat Viola home and away, that means they have a real quality. Their center forward, I'm talking about Aston Villa. They defeated Aston Villa home and away, remember. And their centre forward, El Kaabi, is scoring consistently. And they can actually close up and counter-attack very effectively. And basically, in their city, you can only imagine the atmosphere, So they will actually be stepping up. You understand? The fans are expected to come in their numbers, in full voice, in full song, to actually cheer this Greek side on. This is basically their second consecutive Conference League final, though. I'm talking about Fiorentina, and they would actually want to make the most of the lessons they learned from last season's experience. And this is actually a great opportunity to bring, the trophy, take the trophy back to Florence, So remember, after that semi-final disappointment in the Coppa Italia, whereby the finalists Atalanta were actually beaten by Juventus in the final, so they will actually be hoping to also put that behind them and actually, make sure that they secure European success.